6 in the morning. I'm almost winding up and I forgot I hadn't done any video, and so I'm getting a lot of the wires off and a lot of the board out. But when you come across like connections that have been soldered on for a lot of years, you can put the soldering iron on and heat it up and it doesn't actually undo the solder. So a top tip is, if you put fresh solder on your soldering iron, then touch what you want to unsolder, it will melt instantly and come undone. So remember that. Don't just sit there with your iron on old solder, because it'll lift the pad. Well, I'm even earlier today, it's not even 6 AM. So I've managed to get the board out, and I've got all the wires labelled with these little tags that I've put on 1 to 9. And they're all labelled down in the book. Board's all out, sitting there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this transformer with the 4 nuts and bolts that hold it in, so I can pull it back a bit and start to see what other wires are joined to it, because to be honest with you, I haven't got a clue. The only thing I've noticed is obviously the plug socket comes in through the back here through a grommet, then goes round, and I'm assuming is wired into this transformer. So this means I'm going to have to take the plug off, push the lead through and swap all that out as well, I think. So anyway, I'm just going to quickly unbolt these bolts which are down here. Now the bolts on this one are 7mm. Now you might or might not have a little 7mm socket, and what I did, so I went out and brought this thing called the 10-piece metric mini combination wrench set by US Pro. And it runs up from 4.5 to 11mm in like little ring spanners and things. It's really handy for working on radios, so yeah, maybe something for your Christmas list. Right, let me get this transformer out, slide it back, and we'll have... Well, it's probably quite hard to see, but I've just tried to turn the screw, this one down the bottom here, to get the transformer out. It's just snapped my screwdriver off. Great. Right, I have to go find another screwdriver. Snap it. Right, transformer's out, but laying underneath the transformer is a black wire that goes from the bottom of the operate and standby switch. No, the AM SSB switch to somewhere. Luckily, obviously, with the other two, I'm just going to go and have a quick look and see where that goes. But I haven't desoldered that. That's been desoldered, and it's just laying in the unit. So we need to get that numbered and, yeah, find where it goes. Right, I don't know how well this is going to come out. That thin blue wire there is actually white on this unit. That was the one I just desoldered above the top of the transistor. But down here, on Dave's previous unit, this was a yellow wire. This is now white in here. So, not white, black. That's the one that goes to the top of the AM SSB switch. Dave's yellow or brown on mine. It's black on this one. Why can't they use standard wiring? So if I label that up now as 10, I know what it is. Thank God for keeping good notes. See, there's another wire that you couldn't see when you took off. So that has got to be an earth wire round the bottom of one of those bolts holding the transformer in. But again, I will double check. So I'm going to have to wind up now and go to work. But that's the first job in the next video. So we're getting there. Just all this to sort out now. But I should imagine all of that's got to come out to take the transformer. Oh, and we've got to desolder off the switches. Oh, joy. Right. Okay. That's going to turn into an even bigger job. So I'm still sitting here another day, just mapping out this bird's nest of wires. So what I've got here is, this is the power lamp, which is this one here, which goes inside this little red thing here. I've just pulled it out. And then that one wire runs through a resistor, runs down to the top terminal with the on-off switch. Then there's another wire inside this outer sleeve that comes off of there, a white wire that goes up into the transformer. Then the other lead of the bulb that has no resistor on it goes along and goes into another outer sleeve and runs up to the PCB, which is my wire number 1, which is this one here, which has got the black and white wire poking out the end. The black is this one going to the power lamp. Let me just write on here, black. And then the white wire comes down through this outer sleeve in here and goes into the transformer. Just down here somewhere. Yeah, literally as it comes out the end of the sleeve and it's in the transformer. So I sort of mapped out that this morning. That's taken me some time to get my head round it. So what I've got to do somehow is carefully get this switch and desolder the top terminal, but also the mains wire coming in goes to the bottom terminal. Yeah, how the hell do you get down in there? I suppose the easiest thing I'm going to have to do, I ain't got a lot of room, is either pop the terminal, this switch out and pull it forward. But then, you know, these switches could be so brittle, I don't want to risk breaking the plastic on them, because effectively it doesn't matter if I break the plastic on this one because it's a spares unit, but I don't want to do it on Dave's unit. Mind you, he's got metal switches, isn't he? I don't really want to break this thing on here. Right, I've got a cup of tea on the go. I'm going to sit down and just look. Never go ploughing in, always sit back and look and establish what you're going to do first. And then it gives you the best plan. So right, cup of tea time and time for reflection. Don't ask me how I've done it, but it's out. I've got, and there's these like little spring things you have to compress from the top and bottom to get that out. It's not easy. So I've now got to get, by the looks of it, both of these desoldered off the switch. Yeah. I haven't got a lot of room because both of these are still connected. One goes directly to the transformer and the other one goes to the mains lead. So let's have a look what we've got. Well, that's one wire soldered. This top one, I don't know if I can prise that off of here or not. Not easily. Oh, God almighty. There we go. Right. We've got the black and white wire going to the top and that one to the bottom. So, right, let me just make a quick diagram of this so I can get the thing back together and mark the wires up. So I've had the soldering iron warming up, he says. I haven't had the soldering iron warming up and even turned it on. Oh, joy. I've only got 10 minutes, I need to leave. Right, let's hope that warms up a bit. Right, let's try the old trick with a bit of fresh solder to melt the old stuff. Good grief, that's hard. There we go. Right, that's one off. Two off. One switch done. Right, let's get at these wires before I lose them. There's that one, and that one. Right, I'm just going to do a bit of labelling up. So that one there, what colour wire is that? I thought that was grey. It's brown now. Oh. And then these two here. So this is going to be wire 11. That one's going to be wire 12. And then time for me to go to work for the day. Well, that's a good to get that off of there. I'm not really sure how much wiring I've got left. Let me see if we can lift this out. We can. Oh, look at that. One transformer out. Cool. Right, let me just wire these two, number these two terminals, and that's it for me, but there we go. One removed transformer. Look at that. Oh, over the moon, that's out. Now I've got to repeat the whole thing again on Dave's one and then put it all back. Actually, thinking about it, I don't need to take all this wiring out and take it all out of here. Because I only want the transformer out of this one. So I can put the board back in now and bolt this back in. I mean, the transformer's knackered, so I don't think Dave wants it all fitting back in again. So I can bin the other transformer, hopefully. But again, it's not mine, so I'll have to ask. But I'd never chuck anything away without someone's permission. Oh, great. So, we're there. That has achieved our goal.